Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Season 2 of Learning the Horizon. I am Greedy Old Ka, and I am on a 5-second delay because I'm not actually streaming this. Our friend, made by Scar, is streaming his first episode of LTH, joining us to showcase HZD New Game Plus story. Please don't complain about the delay. There's nothing we can do about it.
At
Anyhow,
least not yet.
not yet. We're working on it. This is our first time running a tutorial episode with two people, and we are on opposite parts of the planet. So you have to expect some kind of delay. So you'll have my voice. Pay no attention to the man in the corner who's 5 seconds behind the rest of the world. And but you will get real time voice from myself, real time voice from Scar, and real time game. So that's what really matters. We'll figure everything out as we go along. I do apologize in advance, but this is the best you get today. I do hope you love it. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you. We haven't been here for a bit. I probably should have done a little bit more, so that also from the bottom of my heart, apologies. We'll get to more of this stuff, but what better thing to lead off another series with, another season, as we put it, than HCD? We did Forbidden West, both New Game Plus story and Ultra Hard Addendum. And we'll probably do the same thing here. So we're gonna get through. We'll probably discuss the loadout. We'll talk a little bit about how you build that file, and then we'll get into the run and we'll see how we go today. We like to keep these around 90 minutes. Sometimes they go a little longer, maybe a little less, depending on the content and maybe what is a good stopping point. But when these hit YouTube, we will chapter select them for you so you can see all the stuff as well. Yeah, so, Scar, anything to add before
Uh,
we jump in?
Not really. Just hi. Uh,
Excellent. A man of few words and many speedruns. So let's get into it, shall we? So just yeah, we're on New Game Plus. So to get here, and if I don't know if you want to open up maybe the weapons and stuff like that in the menu. Um,
yeah. So yeah, we are in NG Plus. What does that mean? We already have our loadout basically, and all the resources we would ever need. Resources, skills. We never have enough sparkers, or I don't have enough sparkers. So yeah, but we have weapons. And those weapons are strongly coiled with especially these pristine weapon coils. And to get these, sadly, there is no duplication glitch in Zero Dawn for these.
Sadly, indeed.
Not like in Forbidden West, where we would only have to do 2 playthroughs. Here we do usually 9 playthroughs to get these pristine weapon coils and like all the other stuff we ever need. Like other coils, I think. Oh, I should stay here for example, these. Or
Okay.
where's the Sparkwrecker? Awesome Sparkwrecker. Oh, it doesn't even have the one coil on. I thought it had. Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, we get our weapon coils, and that's why we need 9 playthroughs. Because we need 9 pristine coils, I believe.
9 pristine coils. And of course, in one of those playthroughs, you do have to do, or among all those playthroughs, you have to do enough of the hammer and steel work around to get all the other kind of extra things that you need as well, right?
Yeah,
So you need
the other
handling,
coils.
damage coils, and freeze coils, and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
especially on our Stormslinger, which will be our main weapon for story. We don't have any extra coils, you just gotta farm these with like enough handling and enough damage on them. So yeah, this will just be farming. There's a very good written tutorial by Elk in a document that should set you up for everything you need. It has like a very good step-by-step guide. I think Jens, who's in chat right now, did it recently with that document. So for getting your weapons, that is the best place to start. And then
yeah.
you can start a new game plus after finishing the main story once. So yeah, it's still here because you can repeat that quest, but the save file has everything done basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
Frozen Wilds is done and main game is done, and some
yeah.
side stuff you need for the coils again.
So let's go back into, I think, weapons, and we'll go over them one by one here, just to make sure people can see, and we'll go over everything that's on each of them. So, starting with the spear, so you do need a couple of coils on the spear, which are the 29% spear damage, which I think is actually a little overkill, right? They don't have to be quite maxed out for the spear to do max damage. Am I saying that correctly?
I have no idea about the spear damage and
I,
cap
I,
off.
I
I just know bigger number better for this.
uh-huh. No, that makes
Basically,
sense.
um,
I think I remember Alk mentioning something along the lines of if you had like a 28 and a 28 or something, it was still the same. But
yeah.
either way, you're looking for 29% spear damage coils. You aren't going to use your spear all that much,
It's
so or
just
at all.
sometimes
But
if like an enemy, mostly human enemies, are right in your
mhm,
face, you can spear them, but
real
you
quickly,
usually
yeah,
use your bow bomb or stormslinger for those.
right. So yeah, and then next bow is
Next
the
bow,
adept striker bow. Yeah.
yeah, this is the Frozen Wilds bow, and adept means they are new game plus weapons, so they have an extra modification slot, so we could put a fourth coil in here.
Hmm.
It is gonna have 3 pristine weapon coils for the damage and the handling, especially. Like, that's the main stats you're looking for here. And then it has some more handling as the last coil. I think perfect would be, again, some damage. So the damage seems capped already with our hardpoint
Hardpoint
arrows.
arrows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next weapon, I'm gonna go over the sling. This is the Adept Large Blast Sling. So on one of your New Game Plus runs, you gotta complete all, I think it was Golden Suns actually, was this one? I'm not sure about all the hunting ground trials, and I think it was
Hmm.
Golden Suns. Then we're gonna put in more pristine weapon coils and another handling
And
coil.
do you need a 63% handling? Is that what you're looking for? Or
You
I
want
guess
your
you want it
handling
to
maxed
exist.
out. That's
Okay.
look at the stats over to the side. You want your
Oh,
damage
there at
for
the top.
especially the blast bombs, like the first ones on the
The
side,
first one.
and
Yep.
your proximity bombs maxed out, as well as your handling.
Okay. Excellent.
Then we're gonna go over our most used weapon, probably in story runs, the Stormslinger. You want damage and handling as high as possible. It's not even capped here. I think I have a better handling, but less good damage one on my PlayStation. But yeah,
Oh yeah, we're on PC by the way.
we are
We're
on
running on
PC
we are on PC today.
for the load times. Yeah, just handling and damage second. I think you don't really need the shock. It's just for story at least not. It's just nice to
Yeah,
have.
I would imagine it's helpful a little bit for ultra hard at least, but yeah.
Yeah.
Story you're going to wreck things. So,
Yeah, and the last weapon we use on story, we only use these 4 weapons, is an Adept Ice Rail, and this is for shooting especially Deathbringers.
mhm.
So we just put on more pristine weapon coils again for damage and handling, and this is really only for the Ice Rail itself. The Ice Spray one we use in Ultra Hard is over here, and it just has freeze coils on, freeze and damage. This is again for Ultra Hard. Maybe in Ultra Hard Addendum you will learn more about it, and I think this is the other part you use in Ultra Hard sometimes. It's another Adept Striker bow with handling, damage, fire, and then like 2 of those, then a fire and damage coil, and some more damage with handling and fire. So just like, I believe this is now an old strat. Again, maybe in an Ultra Hard Addendum, this will get mentioned with a better explanation. But this used to be used for firing up the Stormbird in Rich Defense quicker to more easily and safer kill it.
That's right. There's a question in chat if this is the remaster or normal version. This is the regular version,
Yeah,
the original. Yep.
yeah. This is the regular version. The speedrun is basically the same for the remaster, except that one of the main skips we do is not available in the remaster due to I don't
Yeah,
know what. Or like it's not consistent. It is
there's a
available
good
but
chance
not
it'll
consistent.
fail at Zero Dawn Skip, and we're not quite sure why, and we'll talk more about that when we get there. But there's a few reasons why folks are running, I guess, still the OG rather than the remaster. Not that it's any real like issue if you have the remaster and you want to run it. This will work for you as well. So as far as like how the tutorial will go, this will be for you as well. But we'll point out the things as we go along where there may be a difference or a chance of something not working as well, or maybe something you have to do differently. We'll try to point those out as we go
Yeah.
along. And then once we're done with the story run, we'll go and do kind of another quick run through, but on ultra hard, because of course your platforming and things where you're going through the story are all the same. You don't do anything different as far as how the run actually goes. There's just a little bit strats as far as fights and things that are different. So so we'll point that out in an addendum. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our weapon wheel basically.
Mm-hmm.
I have it set up the way I am comfortable with. My bow on the left, sling on top, ice rail for shooting on the right, and storm slinger on the bottom. Some people have it different. I think Fleur has his blast sling on the bottom, for example. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I just like to have it set up like this, and yeah.
Yeah, do you? That's for sure. And I've said the same thing
Exactly.
about Forbidden West. Wherever you like to have things, whatever comfortable for you. If you did it during your casual run or whatever, a certain way, and you just have it in your brain, I would go with that.
Yeah.
So nothing is technically faster by putting things closer together. It's all about how quick you are and knowing where your things are. So, and being a little bit, it's more important in Forbidden West, but to be accurate with where you're selecting your weapons. You don't want to select the wrong one, but that's easier here because you only have 4.
Yeah. Then for our armor, it's pretty easy. We just use the shield weaver.
You want the shield weaver. Shield weaver.
Since it's not modifiable in your file percent, as we call our file setup process, you can just grab it on your first go and have a very powerful armor from the get-go for your next few playthroughs. In NG Plus Ultra Hard, the Frozen Wilds, this one's also used. But else, I believe in Ultra Hard you never change armor. In NG Plus Ultra Hard, you never change armor.
Main game, you never change armor. Nope.
And you don't do the same. You don't change armor in story either. So just grab this armor and you're fine for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then so we looked at resources a little bit. Maybe we can look at those again, like maybe kind of look at how much we have of everything, and then of course, golden fast travel pack, self-explanatory.
This one's not self-explanatory because
this is fairly new among things we've learned about the game.
Yeah, fairly new, 1 year old by now, I believe.
It's 1 year old. Yep, we've talked about this recently, but like it's fairly new in the grand scheme of the speed run, obviously. So yeah, but let's go. This is for a certain part in Gaia Prime, but I'll let Scar explain how this works.
Yeah, so we grab a errand. I think it's an errand.
I think it's an errand.
Or a side quest, basically, where we have to gather 4 boar skins. So we have 3 in our inventory already, and when getting a 4th one, it creates a checkpoint. And we're going to abuse that in Gaia Prime, so we don't have to watch a hologram twice, but I will go over it once we get to Gaia Prime, because then you can actually see the effect instead of me just explaining it a lot. But for that, we also have a box over here where there's 1 boar skin in. So once we want the checkpoint, we just open this, get the boar skin, and we're fine. We have the checkpoint wherever we want it. Yeah, then
so that
we have
long story short, saves us some time.
It saves some time, yeah. Then we have a lot of resources, some more echo shells and metal burns, and some blaze, some chill water, metal vessels, sparkers. They are important. Because they power your Stormslinger, basically. Be sure to have enough of these. I've ran out of these, and then I added more to my save file. And I think by now I am at 1,500. Yeah, I'm at 1,500 sparkers. I think I had a save file once with 1,800, but just see how many you need. If you need more, add some. Like, it's simple as that.
Yeah,
Then,
it's ultimately going to come down to your accuracy and how good you are with the Storm Slinger. Same with anything else, right? You
yeah,
really do have to learn
and
to manage your resources through accuracy.
and also how often you use it. Like, if you incorporate a new strat that uses a different weapon, you need more or less of that ammo type, basically.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, then some wire and rich wood. So basically, the parts you need for ammunition crafting, plus golden fast roll pack and boar skin.
Yep.
Then again, this one is important for Gaia Prime, and this one is for Frozen Wilds speedruns. So we don't worry about this box right now, but this is important.
Yeah.
The
We'll
boar
get to
skin.
those.
Special items, I believe we need nothing. Ammo, have your ammo topped up, that's all there's to say. And you can have potions, traps, whatever. Just the potions should be fine for story.
Yeah.
For story, you don't even need potions. For story, you need nothing. I think on my PlayStation, I don't have any potions. I don't have any traps for my save file.
Right. You shouldn't have to worry about taking damage to the point of death unless you fall or I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
That's all I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
that's our inventory, what we want to have, and then we have our skills.
Yeah.
We
Skills are important.
we want everything except Hunter's Reflexes. Um, some HFW runners will be sad about this, but but we don't want this because it slows down time when we are shooting on our mount or when we're jumping and shooting. And there is no unlearned skill in this game,
Mm-hmm.
unlike in Forbidden West. So while doing your save file setup, watch out what you skill. We don't want this. It loses time. I think when we started to not have it on and adjusting a bit to like not having the slowdown, I think it saved like a minute 30-ish over a whole run. It also depends on how much you used it, obviously. Like if you never used it, you never jump shot it or whatever, then you would not have saved that much time, but it does save a good amount of time not having this.
And to point out, like, we make jokes about wanting it or not wanting it, and Forbidden West versus ZD, like, they're a completely different animal in each game. Like, Hunter's Reflexes works much faster as far as like you shooting things in Forbidden West. Here, like, you can use the agility in Forbidden West, that agility skill that they have, to essentially like make things go faster, or like you pull your bow faster. Here it just takes a long time for your bow to pull back in Hunter's Reflexes, and that's where you're going to lose a lot of time. So it is very much a faster way to do the run. So
yeah. Then something we don't want either, obviously we can't get the one below that in the skill tree because we didn't skill Hunter's Reflexes. But we also don't want dodge prowess or long roll, because the long roll is slower than the short one in movement. I know that one runner, Soft, he has this skilled for his Frozen Wilds runs because it makes skip easier. And he says like, hey, I can time it. So if you can time it perfectly, you can have this on. But for spamming and not worrying about how long I press this, just don't skill this. And the one below that is not important. So if this was like triple shot, we probably would have skilled dodge prowess, but we don't.
Quiet sprint, not really a need for it.
Exactly. Then some of the most important skills, by the way, is double and triple shot, or like triple shot, but you need double shot for it because it greatly amplifies our damage, especially for ultra hard. Often you freeze stuff and then triple shot it. And the skill that I want in Forbidden West, call mount plus, because this way you just, even if you don't have overridden amount you can just grab a new one.
This is such a cool skill. I miss it too. I
Yeah.
miss it too.
The rest is just nice to have, especially for file setup in Forager, for example. I believe nothing of this is relevant for the run itself. Yeah, and then something we don't get is mounted pickup. Because picking stuff up takes priority over getting off the mount. And it's on the same button. It's both triangle on a
Cool.
PlayStation controller. So at times we want to get off our mount, but there's something to collect next to it. And then we can't get off. We first have to collect it and then get off. And that's annoying, loses time. So we just don't skill this. And we don't need to repair our machines or have them have more health or whatever.
No. You just call a new one.
Yeah, and we don't need a launching jump. Or like jump attack.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, that's the long attack. I see. I was wondering about if that could be made useful, but you know, you guys have definitely beaten this one to death. I'm gonna let you.
yeah, we just we could kill this probably quicker with like a hard point to the weak spot.
Yeah. Quick. That's no question. I would say. Right on.
So yeah,
So
this
that's
is not
good.
important and this is annoying, so we don't skill
Yeah.
it. Same with this is annoying or like slow, and this is not needed. Same for this.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that's basically our save file. We have our skills, we have our weapon wheel set up. By the way, when creating a New Game Plus loadout, so this, you actually want to have your weapons wheel set up, obviously, and be on the correct weapon. Because this goes into your New Game Plus save file as well. Unlike Forbidden West for me, but
You know, it actually that's strange because it works the same way for me. Like if I save
yeah.
my game and then start a new one, it's wherever I have it when I start it.
Okay.
I guess I have the same one of how I save it and where I start it, so it's like maybe that's has something to do with it. But yeah,
Quickly before I get into the run, actually, I want to point your attention towards the quick menu over here, down in the bottom left corner. This, whenever we restart from save, it lands on this exclamation mark, the lure call, I believe it's called. So every time, without fail, if you have restarted from save and want a mount, you just have to go one to the left, without fail. It doesn't save where you were, it always goes back to lure call.
that's unfortunate. I actually didn't remember that.
And that is actually helpful because whenever I use potions, or other people use potions, and they want to get back to their mount call, they have to search for it in Forbidden West because it's saved. Here it just goes to the lure call and you have to go one left. It's easy. Same for the weapons. If you are on your hardpoint arrows, and then the save occurs and you restart from save, it will always go back to the middle, to the hunter arrows. For the bomb, it will always go to the middle as well, to the blast bomb instead of like proximity bomb or sticky bomb whenever you were on that. And for the ice cannon, it will always go to the ice thrower. I believe for the other weapons that might get used, the forge fire, it should go to the upper one, to the flame thrower, I guess, not the flame bolts. I don't know this weapon type. Right?
The great balls of fire.
Yeah. The fire burster. It should probably go to the fire thrower instead of
Hey,
the
Opax,
fire burster.
there's a question that you can't turn the menu slowdown off, like the weapon wheel slowdown. I assume you mean?
That should only be for the remaster.
Oh yeah, you can turn it off in the remaster.
And
Correct.
not in base, except if I always missed it.
I don't think you can. I think slowdown is just always a thing, right?
As far as I know, it's always there.
Yeah. Right on.
Oh, and something for PVC users actually. There's a minimum required graphics settings. You can't just have everything on low because then a weak spot will not show up in for the Deathbringers, for example. Or I believe the blaze in Ring of Metal will not show up as well. So these are the minimum settings you need. Um,
Imagine
nothing
gaming
more to
3
say about
on
it than do this and you get it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're gonna get better performance out of your computer on PC with these. You can see the VRAM at the bottom there. So
Yeah, yeah, I can run this on ultra settings. Just this is the minimum. This gives me slightly better load times as well. So yeah.
right on.
And I believe that's about it about setup and like important mechanics, except you would have seen it immediately. We roll everywhere because that's the fastest and most consistent way for us to move
Yep.
about. Important there, I didn't know when I started out. This is a roll, and this is a sprint roll, and we want sprint rolls. They are a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you always want to L3 into your rolls, basically.
yeah,
So make sure you get a little sprint and then start rolling consistently. So
yeah.
yep.
For PC players, sometimes the sprint is weird. Just figure it out on yourself. You might hear me complaining about I lost my sprint, and Fleur, a PlayStation player, will be like, "How do you lose your sprint?" It's just
That
like
doesn't
a
happen for
PC thing.
console. Yeah.
Or on console, you
Right.
can spam your L3 and it will restart your sprint. It will always start a sprint, while on PC you can stop your sprint with it. So yeah,
Uh,
I guess that's it about mechanics. Really now? Maybe we are gonna get into some
some
later.
actual gameplay. I mean, we can talk about some things moving around, like especially when it gets to like jumping skips and things. We can talk a little bit about how we aim at where we jump to and stuff like that. But we'll get there. Obviously, it's best to just describe that stuff in the moment. But,
Yeah.
all
So
right. So how do we start the run?
we are gonna go to New Game Plus and Story and ignore that there is some autosave progress. We have our save file again, and it is selected on the Stormslinger right now. So we start off in this cutscene. Um, for PC, actually, we have an auto splitter, so you don't need to worry about pressing your split button on time or whatever. And we have a load remover, memory based for PC, so you don't need to worry about it, and
Nice
video
memory-based
based
load
for
remover.
console. There
Very
is
good.
a README file for it on our GitHub where we have it, I believe. And
Yep.
if you can't figure it out for the life of you, it is fine to submit with a run with loads and not a loadless time. Mods will not always retime it, but will retime it if it's a world record, for example. And there's a tech help channel on the community Discord, so just ask there if you have questions.
Yeah, there's lots of people who will help out, and ISO, who may be in chat, one of our mods and one of our developers, is always happy to help people as well when he's got the time. So check it
Yeah,
out. We've got lots of resources. On that note, um, I see some jokes in chat that console is better. Guess what? We don't have to do on PC. 9 playthroughs of the game. Somebody
yeah,
already did that for you, and there's a file available for both the OG and the remaster in the Discord, so you can find that as well.
yeah. So yeah,
9 playthroughs. I'm never doing that.
well, I did, even though I'm on
I
PC.
know. Well, yeah,
I
of
did that
course.
for
You
console.
run on both. Yeah.
So yeah, our game starts here once I skip this cutscene. Something funny. Let this cutscene play a bit until you see Aloy like this. Else you might get stuck for like half a second at the very start of your run. Because there's like some invisible wall or she's placed different or whatever. Personal experience, let it run to like this part and then skip. Uh, because else she's gonna get stuck in the snow. Weird thing, just you're gonna notice yourself when you start at different parts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they even did 9 playthroughs for the PC save file. Maybe Hunt, maybe.
You'd have to ask the legend. Yeah, the
Uh,
Aussie. I just
Blagas
I just
actually.
turned his. Oh, was it Plagueis? Oh, I thought it was
Blagas and
Aussie's
Aussie
file.
together, like they cooperated on
Sure.
it. So yeah, there was some cheat engine stuff involved, especially with Project Lin
Oh,
talks we did recently. But I'm gonna maybe mention that later.
Ah, right on. We can do that. Yeah, when we get to Durval. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Okay.
But yeah, those are available, like we said, for both the remaster and the OG. So you can find this exact save file, right there in the Discord.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. Again, once you
Care to do a little
press
platform?
square here, you would start your timer as well. So run begins here, and unlike in HFW, we don't have a 1 minute 30 cutscene to go through. But our
You
first
were-
split is about that time, a bit faster. But
It's
yeah,
about that time. Yeah.
we start, and our objective is get to Rost. So we just do that. Again, sprint rolling is the quickest. We just roll through the gate.
He said we go
Imagine not having to
Why
do
isn't
a
he
cable
here?
car. Yeah.
Where's he gone to?
Then over here you can have some fancy shenanigans by jumping over or jumping on the bridge and jumping over. Doesn't save any time. We're gonna have a lot of these doesn't save any time skips later on. But yeah,
We call them fleur skips. No, I'm just kidding.
when
Some
they are
fleur
frowned
skips.
by Fleur, they are Fleur skips. But yeah, just roll over the bridge. The next one would be over here. You can jump up the side and onto the torch, or you just grab the handholds. Here, also minor mechanic here, like about here, I believe it is, where I jump off, and you can make it with a sprint jump and just figure out where you can jump from, so it's quick. Then we go into Rost, our first dialogue. We just mash it. And there's a whole lot of decisions for Rost. It's bottom left, like for most decisions. But here it's really just bottom left. And after that sounds ominous, we can fast travel. Important, there I had it happen that I couldn't fast travel right away because I was too fast with opening the map. Be a bit careful about it, but we don't want to be jumping here after the dialogue, so be moderate with your mashing towards the end, or just know whenever you have to fast travel. Like, if you're still on the rise on your jump, like this, you can still fast travel. But if you're falling, you can't fast travel.
You
so,
cannot. Yep.
Whenever you want to fast travel, make sure you're not falling, because that loses time. And then we use our golden fast travel pack and fast travel to the main embrace gate. Important for this is, you may be asking why fast travel to the main gate when it says meet Rost at the north gate and we can fast travel to the north gate. We are running loadless. So all the load times get subtracted. They don't count towards your final time. And it is faster to fast travel to the main gate and reset from save there in game time. It is faster to do that, to get to Rost, instead of fast traveling to the north gate and rolling to him. I think Jens
That's
asked
really
that
interesting.
yesterday
Crazy.
in X chat. So there's the explanation. We fast travel to the main gate. Immediately upon getting out of the loading screen, we want to restart from save. You see my screen is still half black. It's still not faded in completely, and I already restart from save. Important here, quick difference between PC and console. On console, loads are longer, even those quick saves are longer, but once you're in the menu and this reset from save button might be grayed out, you can still hit it. Like, you spam X on it, and then you reset from save as soon as it's available. On PC, if you have that grayed out, you have to quit out of the menu and go back in, because it won't let you restart from save.
The game won't keep loading, yeah, if you pause.
Yeah,
basically.
So that's our first difference between PC and console. And we're gonna have some more, and I think I can get all of them that are important for the run. If not, maybe Elk will do something different than me, and you will see if Elk does a UH addendum, because he knows the fights better than me.
I'm gonna need someone. That's for sure.
So yeah, you see we restarted from save and we got transported from like over here to right on top of Rost. And this restart from save, for me personally, takes like half a second. Like, to input it. The in-game time that the timer keeps running. It's like half a second for me. So it's definitely better than starting over here.
And having to roll down the road a bit, yeah.
Always is.
For sure.
So yeah, once we get here, we just roll forward into the dialogue with Rost. It's again a bottom left dialogue, and after the dialogue, we want to jump to this campfire. Like, usually I just spam Forest. Can I reset from save? And it puts me back there. Yeah. So, like, what I like to do is just spam it. After the decision, I hold a bit up, and then I can grab this campfire. We want to quick save here, as we have to wait for night.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you just quick save here, and it will put you in a cutscene afterwards. That's pretty quick. That's like the first 50-ish, 40, 50-ish seconds of the run. It's just roll to Rost, fast forward to the main gate, reset from save, talk to Rost, quick save at this campfire.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into this cutscene, skip as soon as possible. Just whenever it seems like to fade in. Sometimes I have my weapon quickly show up in the bottom, and right after that the cutscene starts. I don't know why that is, and if that's consistent for everybody, but that's like one of my cues when to press X.
Yeah, that happens in Forbidden West, where like the gameplay screen or the HUD will flash a little bit before the cutscene starts, and it's like you're catching some in between loading. I think, yeah.
A quick difference between PC and console again. On PC, I can spam X and it won't close the cutscene. On console, it would close the cutscene. So this will be more important when going from dialogue into a cutscene, because I want to mash dialogue as fast as possible. And on console, you might mash through the mash the cutscene a bit and have it like turn this option to skip on and off. And on PC, that can't happen. You just have the option there.
Okay. So on console, there's just got to be more careful. Right.
Yeah. Though on PC, I have had it happen that I got into the skip option too quickly and I couldn't skip actually and had to back out once.
Oh.
So be careful with both, but yeah.
And you're gonna do these things all the time, right? So Forbidden West is the same. Horizon runs are full of dialogue and cutscene skips. So you'll learn how long they are. You know, some like if you're like me, I like to count the numbers of inputs I have to put before an input, like before I have to make a dialogue selection. How many times do I have to skip it? You know, and try to work with how it moves fastest, whether it's you just spamming as fast as you can, or if you figure out a good cadence for skipping through dialogue in the game, like just kind of play with it, do what's comfortable for you, and then just know where those cutscenes are coming out of your dialogue. It and I've mentioned this in the Forbidden West tutorial, but it's worth saying again. Listening to what you're playing is really important, right? So we're giving you guys the game audio because you can hear things that the NPCs are saying, that Aloy's saying, and you catch little pieces of them. But the more you do this, the more those little pieces are going to stick out in your brain when you're going fast. So, like, use those audio cues to be like, as soon as I hear this little meh, like this little hey, this little there's a but, you know, like you just know when something's coming after that. Those things are very important for you to pick up as a pattern. So it's a really big thing in speedrunning in general. I think is just recognizing sound patterns when you're doing things quickly, and then being able to react to those things when you have to. So
yeah, for example, the selection at Rost has a small sound with it. And that's when I change my stick angle to jump over him immediately and be next to the campfire.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, another difference. Dialogue on console is bad. Like, the dialogue selection is bad. Sometimes it doesn't work. On PC, it's so much better. I love PC.
PC is better in Forbidden West as well for dialogue, so that's a pretty consistent thing for Horizon runs. I'm noticing. So
yeah, I don't know why that is, but it is how it is. Be careful with your dialogue selection, and sometimes you can lose a second thanks to dialogue not working on console. It's whatever. And Jens, I run on console too. Doesn't matter for me.
PC Master Race confirmed, indeed.
Okay, but now we're gonna go into our first fight, basically. After this cutscene, we want to immediately roll over there, towards that hill. And, like, find yourself a route if you want to go over the very top or here more to the side. Just get over it with jumping and rolling. And then once you drop here, aim. This aim part is important because it cancels. Oh, I still have all the stuff on. Perfect. This aim part cancels our fall damage animation. And you see I could immediately walk here. I'm gonna restart from save and show you the falling off. Like, again, we roll to the side, turn your camera, roll to the side, jump over stuff, roll over stuff there. And if you don't press the aim button, you're gonna have... I didn't have the animation. Perfect! Showing off stuff. Okay, if you fall down from too high, you get a animation and you can't roll immediately.
Yeah,
but also
superhero landing, right?
Yeah. But also this quickly aiming also reloaded our Stormslinger, so we don't have to do that anymore.
Nice.
Some things reload your weapon, and we want to have our weapon reloaded for upcoming or for fights.
Yep.
So we just roll over here,
great.
and this, I believe it's a rock pickup, is your line. When you roll into this, you're gonna get a cutscene, which we want to skip. So like, there's the cutscene. We want to skip this. We want to shoot the ground to lure the sawtooth, roll towards him a bit, then kill him and loot him, because that's our objective. And we want,
awesome.
Yeah, we want him to get a bit towards us, so we don't have to run as far. So shoot the ground, roll off to the side, and he's running away. You don't want this. If he's running away, it's a reset. Alright, maybe not at the very start of your runs, but once you're done...
When you're going for a grind for a low time, yeah, things like that,
Yeah.
you're going to notice. Yep, we're done here. We'll start over. It's only a minute and 15 seconds into the run.
Not even. Not
yeah,
even.
it's a minute into the run at this point. So.
Exactly. So, like, just reset your run. You're gonna lose 10-15 seconds chasing it down, looting it, whatever. Perfect that it did that, by the way. So I could show it off.
Yeah.
Just restart, and it's fine. Don't worry about it.
We'll just restart, from save here to show you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the ground again, lure it, roll towards it, shoot it, roll towards it. It's gonna fall over, and once it's falling over, you can already loot it, so try to be as close as possible. And once you loot it, I just opened it by holding triangle, normal gameplay, and then I'm just gonna take all because it's whatever. We have the space in our inventory, so it's not gonna get blocked. And we don't need those resources actually. But just take all and it's fine. And that will put us in a cutscene. We want to skip this cutscene again. Basic speedrunning. And now we're gonna get into a dialogue. But here, when you spam X before you get into the dialogue, Aloy might jump. You try to avoid this, but if you do jump, it's fine still. Again, it's a bottom left selection, Ross leaves, and then you want to fast travel to Mother's Heart. And on this fast travel or on the looting of the Sawtooth is usually where we have our first split end, aka the Sawtooth split end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just gonna fast travel over, and then we just want to roll backwards. On the bridge, it takes some practice not to fall off. I've done that, definitely. So here Ross is going to talk to us, but there is a small delay before we can actually talk to him, so... oh, and here it was a right selection, by the way. I just spammed through that. It's a right selection to start off, and then it's bottom left twice. And once we've spoken with him, you can just... Here it's not bad. It doesn't matter if you jump or not. Just don't be falling, as always. And we want to fast travel into Mother's Heart again, and we're gonna have 2 cutscenes to skip. So cutscene 1, cutscene 2. And now, important step, don't forget to talk to Tab. We have the outfit he wants to give us already, so it's just a dialogue, but talk to him. I have forgotten it and was like wondering, hey, why isn't the next part starting? You need to talk to him. Yeah. But there's no selection, so you can just hold to the left to then jump to the left once you're done with the dialogue. You might hit this torch if you're sprinting, you might not hit it. Just hold left, hold a bit left and down or back, and just be on your way. So we're just gonna roll towards our next part, and that's where Olin and Erend are with the Sun Priest. Here, be careful with the NPCs. You can not roll up here, by the way. You have to jump up here. Some things you just have to jump over. I will have some other parts where I will show this again. We don't need to talk to cars, so we are just gonna roll into this. It's a cutscene. Then we're gonna move slightly right, aim slightly right to immediately scan Olin, and then just roll forward. This is a top left to bottom left selection. And once you hear the selection 1, you can change your stick angle or change your input angle.
I was gonna say they were pretty quick after one another there, so
Yeah.
like, and maybe we'll try to slow down a little bit on the next ones to
Yeah.
show you where they are just for like half a second.
What
But
is
yeah, those were right away, and a lot of times when you're spamming, it takes a little bit, for you to move your left stick from one to the next. So like that's if there's only 1 or 2 dialogue skips between that, it seems like you can just be moving things and all at the same time. So
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah, I just went back again.
I
Jump
had a
up
question
here.
here. There's no like just follow the path, right? Like going a little left or right there is not going to save you any real time, I imagine, because it's just kind of a straight shot up here, and you don't want to be like rolling over tables or through the trees or having to jump too much. You just want to keep rolling. So
I mean, in any percent we loot a bit around the way, but we don't need that in NG Plus. So just go up here. Take the most preferable line, obviously, like the shorter your movement, the better. Also, sometimes NPCs can be in the way, and like now there was not a single NPC in sight. I just, the one lady that's yelling at her husband about being drunk and climbing on houses again, I like to go left of her. That's my only thing, I guess.
A little straighter line, right?
Yeah, and that's where I do the jump up the small stone.
Yarg, get down from there.
So yeah, unlike last time, now NPCs were in the way here, so just be careful when trying to get Olin scan. Then again, you spam the dialogue. It's quite a speech. And immediately after that, change your stick angle to bottom left and spam that to continue. And after that selection, you can hold forward to potentially jump over these ladies or NPCs, if there are any. You can just like jump over them. Because now we want to go here to the side and roll down the hill. And we want to jump over there to get there quicker. You would have to take like some bridges and then get over there, but just taking the way on the side, pretty quick. And here, I think this is actually the line, these 2 torches. But yeah, you gotta get in here, and then you're gonna get a cutscene, a cutscene. That selection doesn't matter, by the way, because you're going into a cutscene again, and another cutscene. So cutscene, selection, cutscene. And after that, you're free to go again. And now we want to jump down here because we need to go over there. There's a hut. There's a lodge where we have to go behind this one. And you can either go to the left side or the right side of it. I like to go to the right side. Some people go to the left side. Doesn't really matter. Just now I could show it. Yeah, this was the superhero entrance. I couldn't move after that immediately. But if I cancel that, if I cancel that with aim, I could. Important here, try not to go into the water. Or not into the deep water. Then you're gonna swim, and then you're gonna swim. Swim.
No, you're not.
Okay. Then you're gonna swim, and Aloy is slow while swimming, and then she has to like...
So bad in Zero Dawn.
And then she has to climb out, so jump over this, or when dropping down, get one footing there and jump over. Just try not to swim. When going on the left side,
you can stand up in some of it, but like, if you're just avoid it altogether because swimming in this game is awful.
Yeah. When you're going over to the left, be careful. There's like a bit of debris in the way, and you saw how I got stuck here while rolling. Can you get over here rolling? Like these stumps would not be rollable, but be careful with that. Maybe jump over stuff. And if you're going to the right, like I usually do, be careful with this corner. This corner, like, you can get stuck on there, and yeah. Just try not to go too tight there. Then it's just avoid the NPCs. These children can be annoying because they are running around. The rest is just like standing there. But if you run into one of these children on PC, you lose your sprint and you have to start it again. And sometimes you're not sure if you lost your sprint, and then you maybe cancel your sprint. But yeah, get here. Just roll into it. 2 cutscenes and roll forward twice. Talk to boss. I believe top left was optimal, but another option was just the same, and the other one was just 1x more. 1 dialogue spam more. So just select it and I hold backwards immediately. Usually I'm sprinting as well because that gets taken through dialogue. And then jump. You can jump that, so you can just spam X through or count it and then roll backwards twice. But usually it's jump and roll towards your bed. Be careful not to hit Vala's dialogue.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Like it swapped over immediately, like here.
Yeah, you don't even really have to move. Yeah, okay.
So be careful not to hit her dialogue and go to bed, basically. Because if you hit her dialogue, it's taking a while. I actually don't know if you can immediately quit it, but you see how much I had to spam there.
Yeah, it's like 10. That was like 10 I counted, I think. Yeah,
it's
dialogue entries. So
it's like 2 or 3 seconds that is useless time loss. Avoidable time loss at that. So yeah, just go sleep.
That's the worst kind of time loss.
Skip cutscene, take any of these choices, and skip cutscene again. And now you want to spam, or you want to quickly get into the skipping of the cutscene as soon as possible, because there's a loading screen behind this. This will get taken out by the load remover on both console and PC. And as soon as that loading is over, you can skip this cutscene. Obviously, mine's already loaded now. Thank you, PC, for being fast. But yeah. Skip it as soon as possible and get into this screen as soon as possible. I believe on PC you don't have to have it paused, but then you don't see when it's done loading either. So get in this and go spam your square button so you can easily get this skipped as soon as possible.
Yeah, it is one of the longer ones, that's for sure.
And this is dependent on like having the cutscene stopped for console at least, because else it wouldn't recognize that it's loading because the loading text isn't there. Yeah, we're gonna skip this cutscene. We're gonna swap to our bombs and roll forward to then use our bombs to kill grazers. I like to go over here and just bomb. Just kill at least one and loot it.
And skip the cutscene.
Skip the cutscene, exactly. And now I like to roll 4 times to the right. Like, half right, like... I can't toggle the grid.
Yeah,
whatever.
Thanks, Wolfie. Have a good night.
Oh, you just don't see the grid because it's so... Right. But yeah, go over there. Where the trees are, right in the middle of...
Yeah, right by the trees there, yep.
Wasn't it like focus mode somewhere? I don't know. But yeah, just go here in the middle, over there. And you should be greeted by a grazer there. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and bomb them. Oh, I missed. Obviously. Obviously I missed. Where does this put me? Oh.
Same place, you're good.
Yeah, just was a bit disorientated because the camera. Get over here, get your second kill, loot it, and immediately restart from save. Here you want to
watch out for the grazers, especially the first bombing of them all, because they can knock you off of your looting. If you're kind of sitting there and they're running into you, you'll just get kind of pushed off of it. So, make sure you're kind of in a place where they're going to split around the dead one. So.
Yeah. Just be careful while looting. And here you want to, again, loot it and immediately restart from save. You see the one attacking me already. So that would lose me time. And we actually get set a bit forward. If we restart from save here. So I was like over there by these trees. I need to go over there. And now I'm here. So yeah, we're gonna roll. Over there's a small stone that can screw you over, so stick to the left. Like, over here, this stone can screw with you, that you can't roll over it. just like a small edge where it doesn't want you to roll over, so just stick to the left side of it. Then here, it is perfectly fine to just climb these. It's perfectly fine.
Yep.
But there's a flare skip that saves, I think, actually 2 seconds if you do it perfectly. You want to jump onto this from about here, I believe you can sprint jump onto it. You want to jump onto this fence, onto the torch, and then up. Because then you don't have to climb. Climbing is slow. Like, using handholds is slow, as you can see. So, if I get it now, obviously.
I will try.
So, like, that's a bit quicker because it's also in my movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then right up
you don't have to stop and do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then right up here, there's another one that I don't consistently get, but you can jump off to the side and then up instead of grabbing the handhold. But Aloy likes to magnetize to that handhold, so even if you try to get it, sometimes she just... Oh, whoops. Sometimes she just grabs the handhold like this. I tried to jump on the side, but she decided to grab it. But there's a hitbox over there, there's a hitbox over there. You can use to just jump up here. Just use... If she grabs the handhold, it's whatever. If she doesn't, great. But
Yeah,
also you can...
I don't see this one saving as much time, right? Because, like, it's just kind of depends.
Yeah.
And it's an odd angle. Even coming out of that other jump, it's kind of an odd angle. So
Yeah.
there you go.
So it's supposed to look like that if she doesn't grab the handhold. Obviously, you can die doing these because there's nothing to save you.
Yep.
So be careful. At the very start of your runs, you don't need them. Just go straight. Even in some of my runs now, I don't incorporate it when I feel like I haven't done the category enough to need them. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of little things in these games where it's like you can get a little bit of time saved by doing this or that, and it starts to matter when you want to compete for like top 3, but not when you are just trying to get some good times. So
yeah. So then, coming out of this ladder, I like to start my sprint again and roll, because the sprint stops after climbing, aiming, calling a mount, reset from save, I believe. Dialogue takes, lets you keep it. I think cutscenes mostly let you keep it. But yeah, climbing or like using a zipline, aiming, calling a mount, getting off a mount, all of those things cancel your sprint anyways. On console as well. Like there you have to start a new sprint. So I like to do one sprint roll there. Then we get a cutscene, which we obviously skip. Then I like to roll forward once. My camera was an odd angle there, but roll forward, grab the zipline. You should be sprinting. Then I like to do 2 sprint rolls and jump into this tree. This looked easy, but it actually isn't. Jump into it and go back down. This is for a skip, because now we're gonna jump over there and run there and hit a checkpoint and restart from save again. That saves about 8 seconds from going over there, over that log, climbing up, jumping over, climbing about, going over that log. And we're gonna end back there by that tree. If you can see it where my blast sling is aiming. I'll use my bow, I think that's easier. Yeah, like that. Over there by that tree. And yeah, this is just faster, and even if you fail it once, you still go even with that route. So there's some death planes near that tree.
Yep.
So it's actually not an easy skip, and you should get some practice and see if something works for you.
Yep.
And
so,
I wanted to fail it. I wanted to fail it.
Well, just jump somewhere else and kind of show it, right? Like,
Yeah.
This is one, like, I don't run this, but I do this casually because I think it's fun. Just landing in the wrong spot. Apparently, that was fine.
I overshot it now. If you land down here, it's still fine. You can still bomb jump up. I think a normal jump doesn't work even on that side because you don't get a footing there. Yeah. Bomb jumps, yay! Oh, accidentally flung myself somewhere else. But got up. I would just restart if I...
Yeah. I mean, we'll just kind of just trying to show the things that can happen here, right?
Yeah.
So,
but if you overshoot it, you should be on your bombs anyways because of grazers. Yeah, just get it. Ah, there it is. Finally, I hit a death barrier. You saw how my life got all the way to 0 all of a sudden, and my screen is fading because I hit a death plane. So that's what can happen. You can hit a death plane there. I don't exactly know where they are, but they are there. Yeah. You can hit them at any time during that skip, during getting onto that tree and going down that tree as well.
So, like you saw, Scar landed kind of on the top of that, like kind of left fork of the tree there. So what you want to be trying to do is land in the middle of those. So
yeah, again,
right where they kind of V out. But
figure it a bit out for yourself, where you want to land in that tree. Be careful while walking down, and I recommend aiming during your landing, basically to have more control over tiny movements.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of jumping without aiming or whatever. But you do get more control over Aloy. Not to mention, aiming gives Aloy like a bigger platform for her hitbox, so she'll land on things a little bit better as well. Yeah.
And you also don't have any weird animations if you aim. Exactly. If you want to run off this, you can't walk backwards while not aiming. Aloy just doesn't know how to do it. While aiming, you can walk backwards. Aloy doesn't turn around. Walking backwards there is preferred because then there is no animation of her turning around and potentially hitting a death barrier thanks to that. So yeah, we just aim and walk back. And then we want to jump over to that side, as said before. You need to sprint jump. You can aim at that log, if you want to go around the corner, or just that plain white stuff, plain snow there.
That white stuff.
Yeah, just be sprinting. You don't need to aim while landing. Either she rolls or just keeps walking. And then you want to jump over these trees. And now there's a little safe circle that was there. It is very quick because of PC. But there was a safe circle, and that's when you can reset from safe. Just like on your last few jumps towards this torch, you can see it, you can look for it. And once you run this a bit, you get to know where roughly it gets set. And I believe you can actually avoid it by going too far left here. I think Dorian had that happen to him once, or too far right.
I've had it happen to me before where it doesn't show up, and then it puts me back by the tree.
Yeah, so be careful to actually have it, else just run around here a bit to get it. And once you have that, you can reset from safe. Which will put you up by the tree, as I said.
Yeah, the drop-in one.
Yeah, I will reset from safe in a second again. Just to show you again, we started over there. We jumped into that tree, jumped over to these logs, and reset from safe about there by that torch. Instead of going over this log and that log and climbing between that.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of climbing in between here.
So after the restart from safe, we want to do a skip by dropping. You would have to go over here, like use this rappel point, go all the way down there. Climb up somewhere there, or like go beneath the other contestants, I believe, then climb up there, and then go over that arm. I should use my arrow again. Like that, and then there.
And then, yeah, you take the left at the top there, yeah.
Yeah, and instead of doing that, we just drop down here and climb up that horror's arm, which is...
dropping down here?
Yes, you can. If I just fall here, I die. So
you want to catch on the way down.
You can either go slow and like drop to an intermediate platform and then jump over, or you could YOLO it, or like have it set up for it roughly. Oh, that's not right, Aloy, but it worked. Once you land on this upper rock, basically you might it is. You're pretty safe, though there are some more death barriers around here, like over to the left. So be careful where you jump here. What I like to do is just like jump over, start my sprint, and I should land in a good spot that is not in the death barrier, far enough from the edge that I survive, and I can just continue on. Again, if you want...
You're just running off, no jumping.
I am just running off. There's also a way you can go around here and then jump over, or you can do it how I did it at the first one, just like drop here to the intermediate platform there basically, and then jump over. Those are fine, but slower because you
A little bit, yeah.
have to control more, and yeah. Again,
And again, you don't much
I
have
just
to
jump here.
land on those. I think you can just kind of tip off of them a little bit, and then like if she just catches them, you're gonna restart your fall distance. So like, you know, if you
Yeah.
do like to use that little, you know, hiccup in your fall speed, that's perfectly fine, right? Because then you can survive the rest of the drop all the way down,
Yeah.
as long as you stay out of the death plane. So, yep.
Yeah, exactly. But how I just did it with like jumping backwards and then starting my sprint and sprinting off is how I usually do it. I believe it's also the quickest there.
I think that's how Alf does it as well, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Find out how to do it for yourself. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
The
Again, with
time loss there would be minimal.
with a lot of these ones in the beginning, you're seeing a fair bit of like go here, not here. This is just all practice again. Like it's things where you just do it over and over, restart from save, do it again, and like get it into your head so that you know exactly what you're doing. Right after that restart from save, get it into your muscle memory, and you won't have to worry about it. It'll become second nature. So
Yeah, exactly. So now we land roughly like this, or like facing that way at least, and we want to climb up here. And there are a lot of places where Aloy just gets footing, so just jump up. Just jump up, however you feel like. I like to go a bit like left, then take that right, and then jump up. Soft or like Fleur, soft, like everyone does it, I guess, slightly different, but the same in the end because we all end up here. And there we can also see our casual way again, which would just bring us to the same spot. Just a bit slower because we would have to take a long route there instead of just dropping down and immediately being up here. So yeah, we roll up this horizontal arm, and the cutscene trigger for the curving actually extends way out. It extends way out. So we, instead of going over here and I think ziplining in, we go over there and jump around that rock and get ourselves into the proving.
yep. So you can turn left at the tree here, the little broken tree, jump across, and it's really a pretty straight shot. You have to go around this, but then it's straight over. So
yeah. So where the handholds are from our casual way up, we just jump over again, and then get height through this snow patch. I think there's another death barrier here somewhere. I think I've only hit it once, and even while searching right now, I can't even find it. But be aware there's somewhere a death plane. Just
sorry, I got a text message while you were climbing up the arm, but there's a death plane at the bottom of the arm as well, right? Like while you're trying to get on. I've hit it before, but
found it as well. So
yeah, it's somewhere
I think
like too far to the right on your way up. So
yeah, or while jumping, I think Marin hit it. Just yeah, roll up in the middle of the arm and you should be fine. I've never hit that death plane. I
think it's down when you first get on the arm, like when you're jumping onto it from the, you know, going across or dropping down for the skip. You can go a little too far to the right trying to get up it, and one, it's harder to get up doing that. You just want to go straight up it. But if you go too far to the right, you can hit a death plane there, just like you could, you know, when you were down on the bottom. So
yeah,
just to point some of those out, they're available, or they're around everywhere in the proving. So
yeah, but once you hit a certain death plane, once you know yourself that it's there, and it's still early in a run, so you're not gonna be like obsessed over hitting a death plane. You're just gonna say, shit happens, and restart your run. So yeah, again, we want to jump up here. We jumped across from there to here, and then we jump up, and then here there's a few ways to how you cadence your jumps, or if you use aim, or if you just go straight or whatever. But what we want to do is we want to jump here, or we want to get footholds at certain points. Like this is one foothold you can take, this is a foothold you can take, and then you can jump over here. Be careful not to overshoot, because you can't get up. Even if you have a better landing up there, you can't get up again. I'm gonna reset from save real quick.
We're back here. We get to see the whole thing again.
Yeah, jump down, jump up here,
Right there is where I meant, by the way. If you go down to the right there, there's a death plane.
I think you can actually jump to the left of this tree, but there's another
Doesn't
trigger.
save any time.
It doesn't save any time, and there's some random trigger here as well that you need to hit. I have been told, so I've always went there. So now what? I'm not sprinting, or wasn't sprinting. Okay, now here's our last major point, and now some go to the right here. What I like to do is I like to still jump around the left a bit. It's whatever, just get around this and on top of here. And once we get up there, we will get into the proving.
Yep.
Like somewhere there's the cutscenes trigger. What I recommend is jumping over to that thingy, that rock sticking out.
Outcrop.
Yeah, because it's just one jump less that you have to do instead of jumping down there and then jumping up somewhere. And I think on PC it's also faster because it doesn't cancel your sprint. So like jump over here and then jump in. And usually you should be still on your bombs. So once you skip this cutscene, you want to switch to your hardpoint arrows. So get in here, switch to your hardpoint arrows. I like to roll forward once, and there are some enemies here. I actually have to.
Take that off. There we go.
No, that's what. Okay. Wasn't there like focus or something like that?
Yeah, it should be in the first one, I think, for them moving it around and stuff. If you go
no
down.
I can't go down anymore.
Pairing. Maybe not in the early. I don't know. I don't know how it works in this one. There, it just says focus.
Yeah.
HFW.
Okay.
He's trying to be able to move the camera around a little faster for you guys. That's all.
Not that, but point out stuff with like a rectangle on screen. Actually.
Oh, that too. Maybe they don't have that here. Yeah.
Okay. For this first wave, you can see 4 enemies. One over there, roughly in the middle now. One over there, right next to the pillar. One over there, right next to the pillar, and one over there by the ridge road. This is the first wave. And I just like to go from left to right on this wave. For this, get your own rhythm for these. But I think most people actually go from left to right. I think Fleur does it, Alec does it, I does it, Kaita and Ozzy did it as well, I believe.
Are you able to point them out with your mouse since we're on PC?
I probably could. It
doesn't show the mouse on the screen, right?
Okay, it doesn't.
Cool. Right on.
I could move it with my mouse. Oh, there's my mouse.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Okay. There's one. There's one. My mouse is also white, so yeah.
It's cool. It's showing up. I can see it.
There is one, and there's the last guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I do is just I go this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Once we are done with these 4, we have a small timer before a cutscene starts, and we want to place 2 proximity bombs. One over here. I still have some filter on, I believe. Let me actually take that off. Do I? Oh yeah, here. None. You can't even see it better. Damn it. But there is like a darker spot. We want to lay it right before that, and then there's a small patch of grass basically where we want to lay our second proximity bomb. And then there's gonna be a cutscene after we killed all of these and had the quick time to lay our proximity bombs.
Yeah, and that helps you with the next phase. So
exactly, we're gonna spawn trap people.
Okay. We do love spawn traps.
So on story, you don't need to fully pull back. You can just like aim at them and shoot. It's gonna be enough damage. I think on ultra hard you actually have to pull fully back to kill them, else you're gonna do like 53 damage and they have 60 HP. And on ultra hard you don't have aim assist, so story you can just roughly shoot in their direction. Okay, swap to your proxy bombs, lay it there on the dark spot. And the second one you saw where I roughly shot it. I think I actually overshot it, but I'm not quite sure now. But the easy one is the one down there at the dark spot. That's photo mode makes it brighter because I have brightness turned up.
That's better. And turn the exposure down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can you can see the bomb quite good there, and the darker spot over here.
Yep.
Right, and you can see the grass quite clear. So yeah,
Let's see where that lands.
that's where we roughly want to place these. And now there's going to be a cutscene, like I said. And we hope to hear 2 explosions. One for the back one for the first one. Only one. God damn it. And it didn't even kill. What?
Oh, we missed
That
them all,
never
I guess.
happened before.
It's literally sitting right next to that guy in the back, too. So
yeah. And the first one
that never happened
exploded,
before,
but
number
didn't
1.
kill. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
strange.
I am
Yeah, that's a
confused.
good-
Let me load back.
Yeah, go ahead. We start over. Show it how it works.
Quickly gonna show the fight again. Got my bombs.
We can't win.
And
That's good.
try to swap over to your arrows as well. Again. Yeah, now it hit him. Oh.
Oh no.
If that bomb doesn't hit, just shoot these guys.
They keep coming.
Okay, aim. Try to not let this guy jump down, by the way. Else he might be in the way of the leader when you try to loot him later. After you killed these guys, there's gonna be immediate spawns. Again, I like to go from left to right. One is up there. You can pretty good pre-fire him. Then there, up there. And then these 2 guys you want to kill as quickly as possible because these like to hide. They like to hide. It's not nice when they hide behind the rocks there.
Yeah, there's no good way to hit him from this angle. So
So yeah, that was quite quick. Again, we killed the guys with bombs, hopefully. We have the placement for them. Figure it out from where you're standing and where you want to place your bomb. Especially the second one. The first one is pretty easy. It's like lined up with the dark spot there on the wall. The second one, I think I actually shot it a bit too far right, seeing it here. But gets that placement there. And then the second wave, one starts up top. I should actually restart from save and grab the second wave.
There's more of them.
Oh, it starts here. Weird. Okay, but that is also perfect for photo mode showcase. So we get this guy over there. You can pre-fire him pretty good. Then we get this guy over here. He's right next to him. So just shoot at him. There is one guy over there. He likes to chill there for a bit and not immediately sprint somewhere. So he's usually stationary. And you can pretty easily hit him. There's a guy over here, right next to that tree. Sometimes you don't see him. Just aim where the question mark is and right next to the tree, basically. Like between tree and rock. And then the last guy, did he not spawn in?
I think he's behind the rock there.
Already?
White tell, but that little up
Yeah.
point in the rock, yeah, I think he's behind it. You kind of see
Yeah,
him
oh
there.
yeah, here.
Yeah,
Here. It's like
yeah,
he's-
right there.
So yeah, he spawns right next to the rock and he is already hiding.
Yeah.
So a good fight is you need only 1 arrow for everyone here, and you pre-fired the guy up here, and these 2 guys are not hiding, basically. If they go and hide, you're gonna be annoyed by it, but it is what it is.
Hmm.
So yeah, shoot,
They keep coming.
shoot,
Coming
shoot.
And so he
Don't
kind
hide.
of came out
So yeah, here now he wanted to hide.
there.
Okay, and now we want to pre-fire the next guy, which is a big guy over here. I just like to spam bombs there. I usually get 3 down with the pausing
Usually
and
you're
stuff.
closer to, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we start.
You put bombs down there. For story, it is you just need roughly where he is, and he can easily walk into them as well. On ultra hard, you need to be more precise and get it more accurate, and I think you actually need 3 bombs for him to die there immediately. So it's gonna be another cutscene, and you heard the bomb explode, you saw the damage number, he's dead. What I like to do is roll forward once. We want to be roughly behind this rock over here. behind this rock. So this guy doesn't immediately see us. So he's like, huh, must have been the wind or something like that, and jump down and investigate. We need to kill this guy and loot him later, so we want him to jump down.
Yeah,
So
you
we don't have
go
to jump
after
up.
him.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we can kill his 2 other guys over here. And if the bombs didn't hit, 1 headshot is enough to kill this guy as a backup if you don't hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or just go ahead and triple notch or something and take him out with that. But yeah.
Yeah, a headshot is usually quicker there than
Right.
triple notching. So
Safety backup, I guess, if you're not good on the headshots.
yeah. So yeah,
Someone in the stream, it's me.
so yeah, these 2 guys, we are gonna take them out now and hope that the leader jumps down in the meantime. 3 guys actually. So yeah, you saw the leader jump down. In the meantime, I can shoot these guys. For him, full drawn headshot, I believe it is. And then just go over him and loot him. Take all again. It doesn't matter what his loot is, just take all. And that will put us in a cutscene. And we want to skip this as quickly as possible again. And another cutscene, again here, loading cutscene. So you want to pause this as quickly as possible for the load remover to pick it up. And usually this is where we split the proving.
And so there is a glitch that can happen with the proving as well, where it's both waves spawn in at the same time, yes? Or something spawns in? Well, how does that work? I know it happens to some people and they reset over it, so.
Yeah, you shoot like 1 guy or 2 guys from the very first wave and immediately get the cutscene for the second wave.
Okay. And
What
then
you
that's actually more enemies, right?
That's more enemies on the screen, but not more enemies overall, I believe.
Right,
Because it's just the same people that spawned in. Just it can get messy because you don't have your rhythm with it, you don't have your proxy bombs set up and all that. You can reset from save, and I think it actually removes some of the enemies. If that happens, just improvise because it happens so rarely. I think it happened to me like 4 times over I don't know how many attempts at the proving.
Yeah.
There
Just
you have
wanted
to
to
improvise. The enemy spawn points are still the same, just the spawn time is a bit different because of that glitch.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Just
yes.
wanted to point it out. I knew it existed, so I figured we should point it out before we go past it. But yeah.
Yeah, again,
So we're in the mountain.
Just improvise on that, and now we are in our 3rd split. For most people, for me personally, actually my 4th split because I added Mother's Heart as a split. You don't need that. Splits are also just your personal use, right?
Right. Yeah, whatever you prefer.
Yeah. So right now we just need to roll forward through the store, and I think there is the first cutscene, right? When you get in. Yeah. Cutscene, 1 cutscene, and roll forward again to the door, open the door. Roll forward more to the next door. And roll through the left here. I really like to go through here instead of like around. It's like a straight shot and there's nothing in between, no elevation change or whatever. Just roll through here and go grab your things. And you're gonna get a cutscene. And now you can sprint forward and go towards the door. At the door, all people have different setups where they actually position themselves. I think Eric like rolls against the door and then turns around. Like that. I like to go to the side and count 1, 2, 3. And position myself here. Just position yourself somewhere where you can spam triangle to get into the Tirsa dialogue, or where you can talk with Tirsa, and try to not be in her way when getting out of the cutscene, basically, because Tirsa can be weird. She can be slow walking, she can spawn a bit further away, and some Tirsa shenanigans. Just try not to be in her way. Also, while doing this, you can either change your weapon to the ice rail, change your weapon to a hardpoint arrow, or notch 3 normal hand hunter arrows to one-shot the corruptor that's coming up. I specifically chose those because they are enough to kill on story. On Ultra Hard, you actually need the ice rail, or I think a triple notched hardpoint would be enough as well. I'm not sure about that though.
I'm not sure either. I know that Elk uses the ice rail on
Yeah.
ultra hard. So.
Basically, on Ultra Hard, we use the ice rail for that because it's enough damage. But using the Hunter Arrow gives you more time during the skip, actually. So when starting out, it might be best to use a Hunter Arrow. Hardpoint arrow, sorry. Or a triple notched Hunter Arrow. And optimal for those 0.1 second of you switching and the weapon will slow down, it is to use triple notched Hunter Arrows, but that's so minor, you don't need that.
Yeah, if you're quick about switching weapons, you're fine.
Yeah, with how quick I can switch my weapons, like, saves no time.
Right.
So, yeah. I went to triple notch. So yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
use
you do have
that.
to wait for Tirsa here, wait for her to come here, and then wait for her to leave the mountains. So.
Yeah. So we talk here. It is 3 cutscenes, and then we can just run ahead again. This is just a walking simulator, basically Zero Dawn's version of the cable car. We have to wait for her
before your cable car.
Yeah, we have to wait for her there once, and then we can line up at this second indent. That one. Because if we go further, this guy will tell us, "Yo, go back. Tirsa still has to talk to you or whatever."
Yeah, and you don't want to trigger that cutscene. It's time loss.
Yeah, especially not at the very end when you want to actually roll out of it, because at a certain voice line we can go out. It's the one after this. She's gonna say this was my plan, whatever. And after that, she's gonna start her next dialogue line with the other matriarchs are waiting outside, and on the very first word of that, you see him turn around as well, and you can roll into the trigger to get into the next dialogue.
I actually never knew what the trigger was for that, so that's cool.
Where you're born and lose you to follow the destiny our mother intended for you. And roll out, cutscene skip, bottom left selection here. Bottom left. And after that you can change your stick angle to jump over her once you're done.
Nice.
So now we want to sprint to the side of the... so usually you would go the normal way down. But we can roll through some gaps here and then just slide off the mountain. Again, you can choose a safer version by getting there, or find your own way down. I like to be here and then roughly at this tree. Whoops, I didn't mean to fall down. Roughly at that tree there, I like to just roll and aim at the bottom so I don't get the fall damage animation. And then here you just roll further. And
definitely don't go leaping off of there. You will die. It's very far down.
Yep.
So
just
yeah, it's like a little scramble slide and then a drop down when you get part way.
So now we make our way to Resh. Also, ladders are rare and special, by the way. And you want to get good ladders. Like, you can get a good jump to fairly high and immediately climb further, or you can get bad ladders that are like very low. And
yeah, you can grab even lower. Like, I think you can grab like the second rung sometimes. Like, it's
yeah,
pretty bad.
So figure out for yourself where exactly you want to jump, how many rolls it is or whatever. And for me it's like roughly here I get a good ladder. I've gotten better ones as well. So yeah.
And something we should point out as well, and I pointed this out for the Forbidden West runs on PC versus console. Jumping is different on PC. Aloy's trajectory is a little bit different. You don't jump as high all the time. You jump a little bit longer, but you're still able to do the same things as far as like skips and things throughout the run. But when it comes to things like grabbing ladders, grabbing handholds and stuff, you can jump a little bit further away. I think on PC, where you can you might want to be a little bit closer sometimes on console. So
yeah,
just a strange like. You notice it when you play on the two. So
Yeah, so if like
It's
my spot doesn't work for you for getting a good ladder because you always grab like the second lowest, then go a bit closer.
Yep.
Or like if
Yeah,
my
you'll figure it
spot where
out.
I jump for the first skip in proving doesn't work for you, go a bit closer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We talked to Rash. Optimal is top right, bottom right for dialogue selection.
I need the
Since I was made a seeker. And then watch your tongue. And a bit skipping after this, we get into a cutscene. Again, on PlayStation, be careful with getting into that cutscene and maybe missing it, basically. Missing the skip on the first try.
and where we're
But on PC, you can just spam it and you'll get it. I think it was 4 or 5 X presses to get into this.
Mm-hmm.
After we get out of this cutscene, we want to turn around, jump up a small pile of logs, jump up to the side of the fence, jump up the whole fence, wall, whatever. And then we want to aim at a weak spot of a corruptor and shoot as soon as we hear a certain dialogue line again. Because this corruptor is invulnerable for like half a second, is vulnerable for half a second. When he's still outside, before he gets invulnerable again, and before that he's invulnerable again as well. So there's a small time frame where you try to hit him there and kill him there. Else you can reset from save, you can reset your run, you can wait for him to jump in and kill him there.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever you want to do. Once you if you fail this, but usually we want to hit it. So I skip the cutscene, I turn around, I jump on this small pile of logs, I jump onto the fence, I jump up the fence, and then I aim at his weak spot, like the round weak spot he has.
Yeah, on the top left there of his body, yep.
Yeah. And now Aloy has 3 lines, voice lines, and on the third one we want to loosen our arrows and get the kill. I personally take the voice line, some take the controller rumbling from the gate. I personally don't know when that is. I personally don't experience that as a trigger for me there. I use the third voice line if you have more success with taking the rumbling of the gate, of the controller, whatever, as your trigger. Use that. Just get it to work for you. Use whatever trigger you need. I take the voice line from Aloy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops. I accidentally loosened my arrow while trying to unpause. So I'm going to reset from save and we'll do this again.
And this jump getting up here can be a little tricky too for people.
Yeah.
So like, showing it again isn't too bad. So log pile and up. And try not to run when you're up here, especially on ultra hard, because the corruptor will see you.
Here it comes.
So when she said
and he will
here,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah. When she said here it comes, you can loosen your arrow. You can even loosen it a bit before, but that's also risky that you are too early. But yeah. And yeah, what Craig said.
If he sees or hears you while you're running up there, especially on ultra hard, he'll move at the moment you're able to hit him, like immediately, and you'll miss. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're moving with your aim on. Just walk over. Use it to load up your ice rail if you're using your ice rail. To hold the fire button before you set it off, and then use your with your triple notch, like put your triple notch on if you need to there, like that kind of stuff. Use that little bit of walking and aiming time to your advantage. So
yeah, exactly. Now that we've hit it, we need to loot it. Now that we've killed it, actually. We need to loot it, so for that, we're just gonna reset from save, and we have to roll forward a bit, then we can loot it easily, and don't have to worry about getting out of there.
yeah.
So reset from save. We're inside here. And we roll
on the ground.
Yeah. We roll forward, we loot him. Just take all again. We skip this cutscene and then have a dialogue with Tab with no selection.
No selections for Tab.
And immediately after we want to open our map. I just did that. And we want to fast travel to the main embrace gate. And this is usually where we split. And this is actually, I think, where I would end off this episode.
Yeah, I think this will be the end of the episode 1 for sure.
this is very fast travel. To end it off. So I think next time we will start where we kill the corruptor, so I can show what we actually do right after that.
Yeah, right after that.
Because
Let
it
flow. Yeah.
this loading screen was so short, it just flows into each other.
Mm-hmm. Pretty well. And like we're gonna call them out here, and then the gate's gonna break open, and we're gonna go meet Varl. Basically, is where we're at next. But you do all that kind of really quickly after talking to Teb. So we'll start with the corruptor when we come back on episode 2.
Test the override
Yep.
device.
Scar, amazing work. Thank you very much for showcasing the opening and the loadout and kind of how we get things. That was awesome. This is a good start for folks to kind of to get going. I know some people have been wanting to run the game recently, so we'll be back again as soon as we can to continue showing you guys the run. Scar's doing a wonderful job showcasing all the details. I'll try to keep asking questions where we can and taking questions from you guys in chat. For those of you watching on YouTube, feel free to come onto the Discord. Ask questions there, leave comments on the video, and we'll definitely answer them there as well when we can. And we'll continue with episode 2 of HZD, New Game Plus story, when we return with Learning the Horizon.